Sports brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start. At the 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Here we go. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
11.
Mixing up the middle. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
11 MC paint.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From just shy of midfield, Cousins. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Following the interception, Cousins. That one complete down the field to Smith. And he will finally be taken out of bounds as it's an enormous play there on the final snap of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 36 yards. And the Vikings post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath a short pass like that? But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Here we go, here we go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But what a game this has turned out to be for him. Remember, CD, he had the turnover earlier, and now the pick 6, that's the cherry on top.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. When you force a turnover on defense, you're the guy most excited about getting back out there and trying to force another one. How about him picking off that pass, setting his sights on the end zone? You know he wasn't going to be denied getting there either.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a quarterback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And it's now 21-0.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
On third down, Burrow.
Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. Evan McPherson for the extra point.
It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Dalvin Cook
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. First down, here's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
This is caught. It's Boyd. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around. And they're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Chidobe with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Here's Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. On play action, Cousins. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
No question, that was needed by the defense because already trailing by a couple of scores, They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Cousins to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And the third interception thrown by Cousins.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
11. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bengals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati.
Cook up the gut. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Up the middle, it's Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
To throw, Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Left side, Cook. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. Touchdown! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
On 2, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Throwing is Cousins. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Again, it's Cousins. Sliding out of the pocket. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Joseph now to have the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Here we go. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
There we go. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
On one, ready?
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And now here is another interception.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
This ball complete to Thielen going across the middle.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Throwing here, Cousins. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, You can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Cousins again. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Play fake. Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really...
And oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Play action now. Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.